Hey guys, and welcome to part 20 of Building Theed. Guys, in the last episode, we finally finished work on the first sort of row of houses for the MOC. So now it is time that we move on to a different kind of house. So all the houses we've worked on so far have had sort of an open back dollhouse style. But this house that we're going to work on now is going to be more of a modular building style where you're going to have separate floors that you can lift up. That's mainly because the house that I'm talking about is kind of like dead center in the MOC, so like its back isn't to the back of the MOC itself, it's just sort of centered in, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have an open back where you can't reach it. So that's the reason that I've sort of switched up the building technique. So in this episode, guys, we're going to start work on that house on the ground floor mainly. It's quite a bit bigger than the ones we've been working on, so I feel like it's going to take a little bit longer. But I've already planned out a bunch of details that I want to work with, and I'm just really excited. Let's just get right into it, guys. Alright, you guys, so this is what the MOC currently looks like after last episode's progress. As you can see, it is really taking shape now. And in this episode, we're going to start work on the house that goes on this footprint right here. We're going to start off with the base, and then I'll sort of explain what the game plan is for it. So let's get right into building. Alright, you guys, so I've laid down the base as well as the tiling for the interior. You can tell right here, these exposed studs are for furniture, and you can really get a sense of sort of the size it's going to have. This is going to be like solid brick once I've built it up, just mainly for structural reasons. I'll explain later on as the build progresses. But now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start placing down the walls. Now, the reason they're so thick is because I'm doing a lot of outer detail with snot techniques. So I'll explain a little bit more as I continue building. So you can get a sense of the techniques I'm going to use. But yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so I've laid down the bricks for sort of like the initial wall base, and I think it's coming out pretty good. As you can see, I'm using some snot techniques to create sort of like some texture here in the facade, and that will carry up as I continue to build upwards. And then I'm also going to be playing around with some color. As you can see, I have a bit of medium nougat with the tan color, and it's going to be like striped as the wall goes up. So I feel like it's going to look really good. I feel like I'm going to be able to explain this better once I have a little bit more built up. So I'm going to do that and then check back in so you guys can get a bit of a better idea of what it is that I'm talking about. So let's go. So I've kept on building, and as you can see, a lot of the more like detailed pieces are starting to go in, like these outer pillars and these inner pillars. However, I've stopped for a second because I've only just now realized that while I was building the area back here, I should have been adding the window pieces like this because it's going to have a very similar technique. However, these are going to be locked in place, so if I don't add them in now, I'm not going to be able to later. So I'm going to go ahead, do that, and then keep on building a little bit of the walls and then check back in. Alright, you guys, so it's definitely a little bit later. I've gone ahead and I've added the windows that I was talking about, and I've kept up building the walls, and now you can really see the technique that I was talking about, creating these stripes in tan and medium nougat, but, you know, also playing with depth with those snot techniques to sort of create like these outer pillars, and I feel like it's looking really good. Now, I want to do a little bit more wall work before I do some of the furniture builds. So I think I'm going to get to work on that, and then once I finish, I'll check back in and we'll talk a little bit about furniture. Okay, so this is as high as I think I'm going to go with the walls this episode. I think it's immense progress, but mainly I'm stopping here because otherwise it's going to be too difficult to place all of the interior furniture inside. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a few little tutorials of some of the furniture builds that I have, which are basically the same ones that I've used in the houses over there. But I don't think I've properly ever showed you how I build them. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, you guys, so to start off these tutorials, I'm gonna do a build that you've probably seen many times throughout the mock, and that is this fancy tall chair. The design is really simple and it's loosely based on a build that we see in the Skywalker saga. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. What you're gonna do first is you're gonna get 2 of these 1x1 round plates and stack them together. That is gonna be one of the legs for our chair, so we're going to need 4 of those. We're going to set those to the side, and then to sort of start working on the cushion bit, we're going to need a 1x3 plate, and then another modified 1x3 plate. This is sort of like a jumper plate, and we're going to place 2 of those on top of the 1x3 plate that we already have, like that. And then right behind those, we're gonna add a 1x3 tile, like that. And now we're just gonna go ahead and add the legs to the bottom to sort of help create the base of the chair itself. It's very easy, very straightforward, just like that. So this is gonna be the base of the chair. And then right here, right on top of these, on these studs, we are going to place these modified plates with a bar so that we can attach a hinge to it. So just one there, and then another one there, just like that. Sorry, I'm building a little bit out of frame, but it's just too difficult to do with one hand. All right, and now for the back of the chair. So for this, we are going to start with a 2x4 tile, and then to the back of this 2x4 tile we are going to add a 1x2 modified plate with clips. So that's going to go on like that, and then a 2x3 plate like that. Now to help add the arms and make the backing a little bit more robust, we're going to add again the same modified 1x3 plate. We're just gonna stack those from the top down. We're gonna need 3 of them, like that. And then at the bottom, we are gonna add this modified 1x1 plate. And now this is gonna help us attach the arms of the chair later on. So then this is how the backing looks like. And then we're gonna attach it to the chair like that. And now all we have to do is add the arms, which are these weapon pieces. We're just going to add them to each side. I'll put one there and one right there, like that. And that is it, you guys. That is how you build these fancy tall chairs. And for this build we need 2. So here's the other one that I showed you before. And now let's move on to the next piece of furniture. So the next build is going to be this flower vase on a pedestal, which is very straightforward. Like, it's a very simple build, but it just looks so nice and fills up the space nicely on the inside. So for that, you're going to need a 2x2 plate, and then we're going to add these 2x2 round bricks with all these ridges, just to give the pedestal a little bit of texture. I'm going to stack those on top of each other. And then a modified 2x2 plate with a stud in the middle. And then on top of that, we are going to add this sort of like inverted dome piece. And then to that one, we are going to add this stem piece right there. And then to the stem piece, we are going to go ahead and add these leaf pieces with flowers on them that I've pre-prepared. So we're just going to stick those on like that. And that is the finished build. Now let's go ahead and check out the final piece of furniture. All right, so the final furniture build I only need 1 of, so I'm just gonna show you guys what it is as I build along. It's gonna be sort of a console table for this seating area, but yeah, to start off, we need a 2x6 plate, and then we're gonna use these 1x1 round plates in metallic silver, just to, you know, to give it a bit of a fancy look. So these are going to be the legs of the piece of furniture itself. So that's sort of like our base. And then to that, we are going to add 2 1x6 bricks, just like that. And then to tie them together up top, I'm going to use these modified 2x2 jumper plates like that. We need 3 of them. And then the studs on top are just going to be for like decoration purposes. We're going to add like a nice little wine glass and then a genie lamp, because why not? And then this bigger green wine glass. And it just looks like, you know, a nice piece of furniture. So I'm going to place it and then show you guys what the finished interior looks like. All right, so this is what the interior looks like with all of the builds that we've made. It looks really nice and filled out. And you can see I've also added some light fixtures right between those pillars. There are also some on the opposite wall right here, but you can't really see them. But yeah, guys, I feel like this is really, really great progress for just one episode. I'm really happy with how it's looking. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what you guys can expect in the next episode. All right, guys, so a significant amount of progress was made this episode. I'd say we have about 60% of the ground floor done. I don't know if I explained this throughout the video, but the ground floor is sort of like a double height, so it's actually quite large. So hopefully in the next episode, we get to finish the ground floor 100%. I'm mostly excited for you guys to see the front door for this building because it has a really particular design that I'm really proud of. But yeah, guys, now it is that time in the episode where we update our follow along map. So last time we were here, and with the progress made this episode, we are up to here. So you can really see how all of these white and gray spots are disappearing from the base plate. More and more progress is being made, and soon we'll be 100% finished, and I honestly cannot wait. But yeah, guys, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around and following the series along. I really, really appreciate the views and the comments you guys leave down below. It just really means a lot to me. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.